Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and welcome to our new mini challenge. I'm going to use air quotes around mini because I'm not sure it's going to be really mini. It's probably going to take forever. Hopefully, it doesn't take like 6 years like the rest of our challenges. Anyway, if you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Spacey. Welcome. Couple things you should know about me. Not exactly family friendly. I swear a lot, so if that's not for you, that's cool. I'm also very obnoxious. I play primarily with male Sims, and all my Sims are gay. So if those are things that you like, you're not gonna have fun here. I think that's it. If I think of anything else as we go, I'll let you know, but that's generally it. Also, I have a bird. He sits with me all the time, and I talk to him. You probably won't hear him. He's very quiet. But anyway, so what we are going to be doing here in this quote-unquote mini challenge is the Tiny Town Challenge. Now, it's a challenge that Deligracy created. I'll be honest, I haven't watched her playthrough or anything like that. I've seen other people's playthroughs. And I did read the synopsis of the rules and everything like that. I will link them below, like in the video description or whatever, so you can go out and check them out. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of those because we are going to kind of do what I normally do. Another thing about me, I bastardize challenges. So I don't follow the rules 100%. If that's something that you were a stickler for, you're not going to have fun here, okay? Because we kind of just, everything's a little wibbly wobbly, all right? Plus, this is Twisted Tiny Town. We'll get into more of the 2 reasons why it's that. I feel like most of you know, and that's why you're here. Other people might be a little confused what's going on, but anyway. So the basic rules of Tiny Town is you obviously start on the 64 by 64 lot, and you're building up your tiny town. So you generally start with 1 sim, and all of the sims have a set kind of color and a set design, like a decor scheme, and a talent/hobby that they're going to use to make money. And you're generally working on that 1 sim, doing everything, building up their little house, using extra funds to help build the common area for Tiny Town. And then once you're done with that sim, you move on to the next sim and so on and so forth until you've gone through all 7 sims and you have a tiny town, right? I've seen a bunch of different playthroughs, a bunch of different styles and stuff like that. And when I was watching, I'm like, it seems kind of fun. And then you get to build and do stuff. Building is not my strong suit, so this is very ambitious for me. But the thing is, for rent is a little janky. Okay, even though they've kind of patched it, still, no. So we're only doing 6 rental units, which is the cap for the game, without using a cheat to add more. I'm going to keep it at the 6. So that's what we're doing. And I know if any of you know, okay, I feel like I should have started with this. Listen, my thoughts are all over the place, and I have like notes of things to make sure I tell you. It is Twisted Tiny Town because we are using Sims from the game Twisted Wonderland. They're Sims that I created. Twisted Wonderland, you don't have to have played the game or know it or anything to understand this because it's not going to follow everything exactly. So also, if you were a stickler for the characters have to be exact and the hair shade has to be the exact shade of their hair and they have to be wearing the exact... You're not going to have fun here, okay? Because, like, listen, it's The Sims. We don't have all the custom content does not exist. It does, but I can't find it. Okay, so if you know, I know Raccoonium has custom content for these Sims. I have all of that. In fact, just today, we got Ruggy's hair and ears, so good for us. That's a bonus. But I've seen, I know on the gallery, if you go and you look up Twisted Wonderland and you turn on custom content, someone has got all the dorm uniforms and everything like that. And I'm like, where did you get this? Because I have Googled and I have searched. I spent days looking and I can't find it. So if you know, aside from Raccoonium, where other dorm uniforms and stuff are, please let me know because I will gladly add it. With the caveat that if I put it on and I'm like, I don't really like the way it looks, it doesn't fit with my game style or like the vibe I look for in my Sims, because you know everybody has a different style. Some people are Maxis Match only, some people are Alpha. I'm kind of a blend. But sometimes you put custom content on, you're like, it looks nice, but it doesn't work with my Sims vibe. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work with my vibe, probably not going to use it. But from what I've seen, it all looks pretty good. And I'm like, where the hell did you get this? Because I can't find it. So if you know, Because whoever has made it could possibly have made it years ago, and then they deleted their Tumblr or Patreon or wherever they had it, and it's just gone. Or they didn't tag it properly, so searching Twisted Wonderland, Sims 4 custom content, putting the dorm names in, looking for dorm unit, it doesn't bring it up. So if you know, please share. But like obviously clothing styles, hairstyles, colors, things are not going to be exact. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Also, we are basically going to build Night Raven College. So Twisted Wonderland, again, let me get back to that, is a mobile game that is based on Disney. Disney properties. The art, it is a Japanese game, but it's in English, obviously. But it is drawn by Yana Toboso, who does Black Butler. So the woman is a gift to all of us for drawing just beautiful characters. The woman's a god. So, I love Black Butler, and if you're new here and you don't already know that. So, it basically takes place in a magical high school. It's called Night Raven College. I know, throws me off too. Every character is a young adult that we're going to be playing, except for the teachers. They are adults. We're not doing teenage. That's too complicated and a pain in the ass. So everyone's a young adult. We're going to pretend it's a real college or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, go with it. And each dorm house is based on a different Disney movie / property, right? And all the characters in there are based on, they're mostly twisted off Disney villains or side characters within that property. So, for example, Hartzlabel is based off of Alice in Wonderland. So, the dorm leader Riddle is twisted off the Queen of Hearts, and then all of the other characters are kind of twisted off the card suit soldiers type of a thing. So, things like that. So, side characters. So not all of them are villains characters. We do have the Aladdin house, and one of the characters is supposed to be based off of the Sultan. So he is like sweet and adorable and wholesome, where everybody else is a little evil. You know what I mean? They're not really evil. You grow to love them when you're playing, but you don't have to know the game or understand. I'll kind of explain the characters and everything, but here's the thing. I've been playing this game since it was released on the English server. I still don't know every little detail of every single character. So if you're also here for all of that, I don't know every detail. I have so many cards, and I have not read the vignettes for them. Those are like the little card stories that come with the cards. Like, I have not read them all. I still have like 100 or so to read because I'm lazy. So there's a lot of stuff. And obviously, like, you focus on your favorite characters as opposed to every single one. So there's going to be a lot of lore and things like that I don't 100% know. So feel free if you know little things. Oh, hey, here's some interesting tidbits about specific characters, whatever. Feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll read them out the next time we come back around. But again, with Tiny Town, you were supposed to start on one lot and kind of rotate around, finish it up. We're not going to do that because we have a lot of building and stuff to do. I want to do rotational. So we are going to play with one house. I'm thinking what I'd like to do is post this up every other, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, twice a week. And we might get 3 this week if I'm industrious enough, because I want to do this intro episode is totally separate and then get into the gameplay and do 2 parts. And the first 2 parts for each lot or house that we're playing is going to be, I want to at least maybe do 2 parts for each one first and rotate through them. This way we can at least get them a house or something, a structure for them to not freeze to death when it becomes winter. Anyway, so that kind of thing. Let me kind of go through. So and then obviously the other part of why it's Twisted Tiny Town is because we're twisting the rules. We're rotating around. We only have 6 houses. And instead of building, just a little house for them, I'm building the entire dorm. Again, for those of you who are familiar with the game, it's not going to look exact, obviously. We're working within Sims rules. We're working within Sims stuff, and the layout for Tiny Town is not going to be the exact same as Night Raven College, where this dorm would be next to it's wherever I put it. Okay, so just be okay with that. So just take a step back. It's not we're blending the two together and it's a mismatch. But if you have ideas for things like certain pieces of content that are in the game, like this for this dorm or whatever, absolutely leave those things below. Like I've gone through and thought like since Hearts Level is part of Alice in Wonderland, like, okay, life-size chess. We got to do a hedge maze. We got to have a tea party outside. You got to have lots of roses. Okay, flamingos, because they play croquet with flamingos and hedgehogs. If I think there's hedgehogs in the My First Pet stuff thing, but if you know of pieces of content like, oh, this piece of art has a swatch that has a flamingo, that'd be perfect in this, or whatever, absolutely leave that. Because, like, sometimes, as long as I've had this game and been playing it, I don't know every single swatch for every single thing. So, Lord knows I'm going to miss some stuff that would be kind of funny to put in there. You know what I mean? So, absolutely leave that, like, things like that as we're going through. And again, we're doing 6, not 7. I know what you're thinking. There are 7 dorms. If you know anything about Twisted Wonderland, we are doing double dorm scenarios. I'll get into the lot in a second, but let's talk about the kind of world and the game save and everything like that. Also, kind of want you to know, you, like I said, you don't need to know anything about Twisted Wonderland. There may be mild spoilers. I'm not going to go into like tons and tons of backstories or things that were in events, but there's things that kind of happen in the main game where certain character relationships, I'm going to talk about those. Like there's two specific, I don't want to say two specific characters. It's like two sets of characters where it's like, okay, their specific familial relationship, that's going to come out. And it's not something you know right as off the bat when you start playing the game if you go in blind, but it kind of becomes clear pretty obviously. So, but things like that. But I'm not going to go into things like right now, Chapter 7's coming up. I'm not going to go into the things that come out in that. Hopefully not. But just so you're aware, if you don't want to spoil any little tidbit of the game, don't be here because I don't know what I'm going to say. And okay, so I already I'm just making sure I'm going through my bullet points and everything. So this save that we are using is, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go over here. Okay. This is Little Red Riding Sim's fantasy save file. I will try to remember to put the link to her Patreon below. It's free. You don't have to be a patron. You don't have to pay or anything like that. To get the most updated file, you do have to, quote, be a member, but it's not a paid member. You just have to kind of like join so that like, you know, and I'm like, I can't begrudge that hustle because I was like, I don't want to like, I'll wait till it's like released for free. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, it says join free. And I'm like, you just become a member without paying. So you don't have to pay for it or whatever. But she obviously has spent a fuck ton of work. I'm assuming it's sushi. I'm sorry if it's not, but a fuck ton of work doing this because she's even renamed, like, this is Gnome Creek. So this is all fantasy characters. This is all like for gnomes. I did not read, to be fair, the backstory. There is a backstory, a little thing about the save file from when they started doing it to like explain each of the worlds and everything like that. I did not read all that because it wasn't, I hate to say it wasn't important to me. It wasn't for the purposes of this, you know what I mean? I did, like, some of our houses are in these lots over here. Don't look at them. I put them all in. We're playing in Elvenberg because I really wanted, this would really only fit in a couple of places, and there were some lots that I didn't want to delete. The only other one was in Henford on Bagley, which I think is, where's Henford on Bagley? I gotta remember the thumbs. Here we go. Henford on Hagley. I love the fact that they renamed them because I was like, oh, I like that it's Oasis Spaceport or whatever, but I'm not going to remember that. And then I'm like, you renamed the worlds. Oh my God, I love it. Was the only other place was like kind of here, and I just didn't really feel like Night Raven College kind of fit in with this vibe. So we had to, unfortunately, for Elvenberg, we did have to delete the king and queen of Elvenberg. They're in the world. They're not in world, but they're still in the Sim families. But like over here is the castle guards. I deleted the castle in the royal family. So I kind of had to. The only other change I made too, which, and this is the one thing I don't understand about this. Every single frickin' lot in Sulani is basically a residential. And I'm like, it's Sulani though. You need beach lots. And there were no beach lots. So I moved, there was a house originally here. I deleted it and put Mermaid Bay, so we have a beach. And then this one was an empty residential lot, and I put another one down. So these are 2 lots that I put down here. And at least over here we do have a couple bars and a spa and a park and whatever, But I just didn't understand why everything here is residential and there's no beaches. because part of what we're doing is we're going to be beachcombing and diving and stuff like that is one of our things. Um, but anyway, so that's the world. So again, like I said, I will leave the link to the save file. Everything is done. This is the most comprehensive save file because Ciudad Enamorada is also been like updated. Like they've like Horse Lover Traveling Farm, like they've even done that. This is the most recent. It was literally done October 1st or 2nd or something. So this is spot on brand fucking new, just rolled hot off the fucking presses. So impressed by that. I figured it was perfect because I had other saves that I was thinking of using, but I was like, this is perfect because it's a fantasy save. Yes, we're going to be out in the world. We might run into other Sims. I'm not too concerned about that, but I don't know, like having the Sims that are kind of like, fantasy kind of characters fits better, and I liked that a lot. So I was thinking of that when I was trying to find a save file, because I have two that I could have used, but I'm like, but they're just going to be normal Sims, and we're like, every character we are playing is some kind of occult. 90% of them are spellcasters, because obviously they're in a magical school. They're spellcasters. We do have some mermaids, obviously, for the Little Mermaid house. That one. Okay. Hi, they're mermaids. I have a couple of characters in here that are vampires that kind of fit. Those are the fae characters. We don't have fairies. So it was like, if they have a fae background, I made them vampires. It's the best we can frickin' do until maybe if they ever give us fairies, if they do it the right way and give us like a fae form, where then you can make a dark fae or like a fluffy cupcake fairy or whatever. Kind of the way they've done werewolves and vampires and spellcasters. There's like depth to them. Spellcasters not having a secondary form, but whatever. There are some werewolves. Werewolves piss me off though, so just noting on that, we might have to change them to spellcasters if they annoy me too much. I do have a couple of mods in that tone down werewolves, so that the fury doesn't build as fast, because while I say they did a lot of thought on werewolves, they kind of hit their face against the wall and went, except for fury, they're always going to be pissed off. Everything they do builds fury, and nothing aside from somber howling decreases fury. And your sim gets really, really mad. You use somber howl, their fury's cleared. By the time you need to use somber howl again because they're pissed off, somber howl cooldown isn't ready yet. So it's like your fury is increasing at exponential rates, and you can't even get rid of it aside from transforming and rampaging, and they do that every fucking day, and it's really goddamn annoying, which is why I don't play with them often. So we do have a couple in the game. I do have a mod that Lazy Neef has a mod that decreases the werewolf fury stat, like raising. Waffles has some mods that so certain actions will decrease fury. I haven't put those in yet. I want to just try with see what happens with the mod to just have fury not exponentially increase just because they're breathing. They wake up and they're pissed, and then they go to sleep and they're pissed, and everything, they're always pissed. So I put that one in just half speed, like to only fill up their fury halfway. We'll see how fucking annoying they get. I might have to adjust the mods, or we might just MC Command Center change them into spellcasters so they don't piss me the fuck off. But so we do have all of that. So we got spellcasters, werewolves, mermaids, vampires. That's everything, right? Yeah. So, but only a couple. A majority are spellcasters. Now, let's see. So all of our characters are here, including all of the teachers. Everyone is here except for one character, and there's a reason why, but we'll get into that later. You might notice. Shh. Just pretend. So, what we are going to do is do kind of like the basic rules. I'm going to like pop into our house. We are not actually going to play, but we're going to pop in here so I can kind of explain the twisted way we're going to do this and the cheaty way we're going to do this. Now, I'm not going to use money cheats and be like, oh, I have to actually cheat the money down for this. I forgot to do that. Hold on. Don't worry about it. That is loud as shit. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, you're not supposed to have 12,000. I'm going to set them. Now, I know with the original lot, this is not Deligracy's, like, lot that she made for her tiny town, because I didn't want to have too much stuff, and I didn't want to have to delete, so I found a basic one, and then I just basically redid it. So, yeah. the only thing that I left was I liked that they had, I'm like, oh, I like that they have a toilet instead of a potty bush. I like that, a universal toilet. Great. And that toilet, that lamppost, and the little fence right here that was there, that's it. That's the only thing that's original aside from the tents. But I'm going to keep it paused right now because I don't want Crowley to do anything. So we have 6 rotating lots. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Now, what you're supposed to do in Tiny Town is you work on this when you build it all up, and then say this house is helping build the common area, and then you go here, and then etc. The common area is going to be run by the teachers. So this is Night Raven College is going to be the main area. Obviously, it's right now it's sectioned off just so I can, for myself, know where I'm going to kind of put things. This is probably not going to be big enough. We might have to encroach and move things around, but this was just a general layout. And honestly, just this little patch of grass right here with the flowers, that's just, this one's a little bit bigger, but everybody else is smaller. We're going to give them some things to start off. Because I know on that lot that like Deligracy made for hers, I've seen people play with it where, it's got like the skill building item. Like if you're flower arranging, you have the flower arranging table. You've got like, and a couple of little items that you can sell to kind of give you a little bit of money so that you can start doing stuff. So instead of doing all that, I'm like, I'm going to give them a few things that'll help them, and I'll start them off with like 100 simoleons. This way they're not totally broke, instead of putting some items on that then they turn around and sell, so what we are going to do for that, like I said, we're going to rotate, and we have the teachers who are going to build the common area. I know that kind of goes against the concept of Tiny Town, but because we are trying to build a Night Raven College, which, from the Twisted Wonderland games, each dorm house and area, that's a lot. I'm not just throwing in like 6 random Sims and we're going to build a general house for them. These are huge dorm houses that are like, think of like castles, okay? They're going to be expansive and it's going to take a fuck ton of money. So I'm like, we're going to need every cent we can get. And while I do want this to be a challenge, I don't want it to be a very challenging challenge because I don't want it to just be we're grinding 5,000, like, oh, just grinding. I want us to be able to at least play with the characters and do some things and fun things while also building the dorms and whatever. And I also don't want it to take 3 years to do, which it will if we grind. So we're going to do some cheaty ways to make money. Now, aside from they start off with some, and maybe 100's not enough, maybe we do 200, whatever. If you guys have a thought on that, aside from, no, you have to follow the rules exactly. We're not following the rules exactly. If you're going to be like that, you can just, this is not going to be for you. Don't bring this negativity into your life because you're going to be miserable. But if you have ideas like, oh, 1,000 would be better, or you know what, actually 500, or, whatever, absolutely, like, leave those thoughts because, like, I'll work with them and see like what works best, or like, yeah, you know what, that's not a bad idea. It might be better. Also, I have gone through for every single character and figured out like ways to make money aside from jobs. Some of them are going to have jobs, but like little like money making, like painting and knitting and, whatever. If you have ideas like, oh, this character would really work with this skill or whatever, absolutely leave those because I might rearrange some people, especially the teachers, because I originally wasn't. I had Crowley and Cruel Maid, and I was thinking of mixing them into the houses, but the popular consensus on the channel page was teachers being their own. So with that, the teachers are going to build the common area. Yes, if we're working over here and we have extra money, we'll toss it over here or whatever, but I didn't want it to add to the time and make it grindy, and I wanted this to be kind of fun, but still, it's a build challenge mostly for me because I gotta build the frickin' dorms, and they're massive. Now, obviously, they're not gonna look exact. Obviously, they're not gonna be perfect, but I didn't want to be like a tiny, cute little house for one. No. Hearts Level, which is going over here, that's why there's a red tent here to start, has to fit 5 Sims. So it's gotta have room. I want to have like our life-size chests or hedge maids over here where it's encroaching on the common area. Maybe put our, tea party set here, and we're going to have our dorm here. We are going to be utilizing basements, and like also this might be their area It's definitely bigger. You can tell that. I'm not gonna just they are stuck to this 10 square. If they are in here and then they have a basement space over here and everything's we're that's what we're doing, and everything is not going to be 100% equal. Um, so that's where our hearts level's going to be. That's why they're red over there. Our first double dorm. I don't know what order we're going to go in. I was thinking like maybe we'll do clockwise, unless you guys have a specific like if you want me to just go clockwise. Do you want me to like put up a vote on the channel? I don't know if we can put like we're gonna start with Crowley because that's where we are and he's the first one in here. Or if you like I said, because I'm hoping this week we'll spend a couple of episodes with Crowley to try to at least get him to have a house. But if there's ones you want to see or something like that, let me know. We could roll a dice. I could spin a wheel, to see which one goes. But whatever order we do, we are going to stick with that order. So if we say start with a comment and then we rotate around this way, we're going to then do the exact same thing. We're not going to. I saw James Turner's playthrough. I like the rotation, but we're not going to do that where we go and we're doing the same two houses back and forth, but then we go over here and then we're back and forth. Like, no, that's too chaotic. That's too chaotic. My brain can't handle that. Like, more power to him for doing that kind of rotation. Where then we're down to the last two Sims, and then you just never get like, no, I can't. I will not be able to handle that. So we are going to keep a rotation, whichever house we start with, whatever order we start with, that's the one we go in. And honestly, to be fair, I could go in the order I wrote down I would say I wrote down the houses in my notebook, but the two double dorms, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. But anyway, so our first double dorm is going to be Ignahide and Diasomnia. Ignahide is based off of Hercules, and Diasomnia is based off of Sleeping Beauty. So think like Maleficent's castle over here and like whatever. Ignihide's going to be a little bit smaller because I'm thinking just like, okay, like a little like Greek-looking temple-y building, but then you go downstairs and everything's underground. Feel like that fits if you know the characters. And then, tall castle over here with maybe a little bit of a basement. Pompfiore's going back here. That's based on Snow White. Here's the thing too. Let me know what you think about this. I know this is the front of the lot. This is the way Sims teleport in here. But that to me does not, I don't know why they did that. Because this is the way the rest of the island is. You'd think they'd come up here. So I have put it so that this is the front of the lot because this would be the main aisle. This is where like the statues of the Great Seven are going to go, like the main walkway, and then you come into the main campus type of a thing. You don't have to know about that. I'll explain it. It's basically just statues of the like Disney villains that the houses and the main characters are twisted off of, like Scar and the Evil Queen and Maleficent and like the Queen of Hearts and like, etc. in Hades, etc. So, you know what I mean? So it's just those statues and like, so I'm going to put that here on the like kind of main walkway, but like, should I rotate the lot around? Well, I guess we'll have to see when we do gameplay if it's going to be really freaking obnoxious with people teleporting over here. But I'm like, are they going to come from here and then run around? Because that's annoying. I'd rather them come this way. And also, I just feel like when you're looking at the map view, it looks better if the pet buildings are here, but maybe we should flip it. I don't know. We'll see. If you have thoughts on that, let me know. Like, because I have not played on this lot in a very, very long time. So if you're like, no, flip it where they teleport in, it's going to be more obnoxious to have the back here. Whatever. And then our other double dorm is going to be Savannah Claw, which is based on The Lion King, and Scarabia, which is based on Aladdin, because combined they have 5 Sims. Hearts Level has 5 Sims. So I was like, okay, as long as we keep it like that, so they're going to take up the same normal amount of space. It's just, and when I say double dorms, I'm still going to build Savannah Claw's going here, Scarabia is going to go over here. They're going to be separate buildings, essentially looking like they're separate things, but for the purposes of the residential rental, they're going to have the same map and it's going to be the same family that's quote unquote we're playing in. Just so that we don't piss off for rent. Because she's already a little janky. Okay? When I first put this lot down and I went in here and I added Crowley and then I turned it into a residential rental, I left. I came back in the next day to do stuff. And when I clicked on the lot, I couldn't choose my house. I could only build. And the picture, like when you click from the map view that like pops up of your lot was a totally different freaking lot. It wasn't even the one that was here before. I have no idea where the fucking came from. And I'm like, the shit? And I have no idea. So I'm like, the for rent is so janky that I couldn't even, and I only have 6. So I ain't messing with putting extra on here, okay? Again, I saw James Turner's playthrough and I saw how fucked up that was trying to like, because he had like 8 Sims, was it? And like trying, I'm like, I'm not moving Sims out and in and I'm not jumping through these hoops. I got enough stress in my life. We don't need to add this to it. So we're just going to do the 6. That's why we're doing the double. So for all intents and purposes, it'll look like these two will be the same, you know, quote unquote property, but they'll be 2 separate buildings. So everything will look like we have 7 dorms. We just have they're, you know, shared, sort of. And then Octagonal's going to go here. It's got a little bit of extra room because we're going to put the Mostra Lounge here. It'll be technically a common thing, but whatever. And then, again, I know people who maybe know nothing about Twisted Wonderland are like, this makes no sense to you. It doesn't matter. It's a little lounge that Octagonal runs, and it's just like a common place you can go. So it's just going to be like a common area thing. We're going to put probably the greenhouse maybe back here. I was thinking like a sports field. I don't know. We could, because most of them are spellcasters, we could probably put a little plot or something and then put some brooms down and be like, that's where you go do your flight practice, because they do flight practice in the game. Or like a basketball hoop or a gym or something. I don't know. Main building's going to go here. And then Mr. S's mystery shop. So Sam is one of our characters. He runs a shop. We're going to put it here. And my idea for the shop was going to be, that's where we're going to put a selling table so that any of our Sims who are trying to sell stuff can like use that to sell stuff. For our Sim who's going to be doing baking and maybe using the new baking table from like Home Chef Hustle, that won't work. They'll have to just stick it around outside or whatever. But anyway, and then jamming some other stuff in here and making it fun, and we'll have to have a nice little courtyard area and stuff like that. And again, like if our building's taking up this space and we have a basement, and we might encroach the common area, so it's not going to be totally it has to fit in these squares. Everything's going to be kind of jammed in here, and this is going to be a massive undertaking because I don't think I'm a horrible builder, but there are people that are like, those people are amazing, and I'm like nowhere near that. I think some of my builds, I'm like, I really like my builds, but I also look at them and I feel like they could be more muchier. You know what I mean? They could be better. There could be something. There's something's missing. They're just not. They don't have enough oomph for me. And what I have in my head for this, oh, we're never gonna. It's gonna be a disappointment to me. So, can I go into build mode for a hot second because like it is so fucking dark here because it's nighttime. So dark. So anyway, so now you can see like all the little plots that I just put down. So we are starting out. So I wrote down, I told you about the double dorms, the cheaty ways to make money. So by that, we are not going to use money cheats. I'm not going to be like motherload, but we'll go into the calendar. I've added stuff. We are going to do things. If you know of other things, please let me know. Dumpster diving is a really great way to make money because you just dumpster dive and then all that burnt crappy ass furniture that you find you sell and you make thousands of simoleons. Easy money, okay? In this world, there are several community lots. I don't know if they're set or I have to go in and set them or if they're just plain or if they are set up as maker spaces or whatever, but I'm hoping they have dumpsters. We can go around and find them. It's going to be kind of fun in this world because I don't know where shit is because it's a whole new save for me. But I put one on our lot so we can dumpster dive. That's a really great way to make money. I did not realize, because I don't use it the proper way, but the decor box, I always just set the decorations and just let it go on its own. I used to like go through and set the decorations myself, but that got tedious. So now I'm just like, click, decorate, done. But if you rummage in that box, you can find like little keepsakes and little collectibles and things to sell. So we're going to be using that when we get a decor box for each house. So for each dorm, we'll get a decor box. I don't know if you can do them on residential rentals, because I've only played with them like once because it's not my thing. I don't particularly love it. But so this is all new to me. I have not fully explored the residential rentals. This could be a train wreck. Also, we're going to get money trees when we can. I know that there is a reward trait. You can go in and get like the investing so that you just get money back every week. We're absolutely going to be doing that when we can do it. And the present pile. The present pile is a magic moneymaker, and I don't mean the one that goes under the Christmas tree, because that one is not expendable, but it expires. There's a word and I can't think of it, okay? But like you go through used presents and eventually it turns out to just be it's a pile of empty boxes and it's done. It's done. It's gone, you know. The other one that you can get that's just a separate present pile, I don't think there's a cooldown on that one, and there is no limit. That thing, you can just take presents nonstop. I found this out because I was playing in another household and I was like, oh, I need a little extra money to do the bathrooms from what I have. So I'm like, oh, I got a present pile. I can grab a couple presents and sell them, right? And I was going through and I'm clicking open, 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 open. I'm like, there's no cooldown and this present pile it never becomes an empty husk. It just is forever. You can do this in perpetuity. You could just sit there and literally wait until your sim dies from opening presents. Seriously. I think I made like 30,000 simoleons opening presents and I was like, Jesus, wait a minute. I was like, I was just too blown away at the fact that there's no cooldown. It doesn't expire. It's not like, oh, present pile's empty. Nope. There's nothing. I was like, well, son of a bitch. And sometimes, yes, you get sadness and lies. Sometimes you get a carrot. Sometimes you get really expensive fucking shit. So, like, hell yeah, we're gonna be exploiting that. Within reason. So that's another thing I want to know from you guys with the present pile. So I'm gonna go in here and go into our holidays. Our calendar is set to 2-week-long seasons. It is also set right now to spring. When I loaded in, it was the end of fall, and I was like, I'm not trying to kill Crowley right now. Listen, I know some people don't like him, but I love him to death, so I set it to spring, which also meant now it's lottery. There is a lottery once a season. I've set that up on the calendar. There will also be the random one that the game pops up. That is another way, like we're going to buy a lottery ticket. Oh, we actually need extra money because we're going to use all of our money on the lottery ticket. So we're going to buy a lottery ticket. If we win the lottery, awesome. If we don't, listen, one household of mine in all the time, and I have a mod that increases your chances to winning the lottery. Once my sim won the lottery, and then the next time their descendant won the lottery, and that is it. I've never won the lottery ever, 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 other than that household. No other game, nothing. And I'm like, seriously? So, but we're putting it in there. We also have any time that there is a holiday. So Bunny Day was a holiday that was added by Little Red Riding Sims. I got rid of one of the things and I put open presents. So any kind of holiday like Bunny Day, there's Winterfest, I don't think I did it. There's one each season that's a normal holiday, but I put open presents. So we get to open presents. This way, we'll at least be in one household doing it. The other households aren't going to open presents. We're not going to go around to everybody. It's whatever household we're playing. I just wanted them to have a chance to get the present pile. But also, like for this, Flower Bunny's going to give us flowers. That's awesome. Exploitative ways to get money. If you know things like this. Like, oh, hey, the Flower Bunny on Flower Bunny holidays is a great thing to add. Things like that. If there's little traditions like that, obviously we have the Flower Bunny. We have Santa. We're going to be asking him for presents. That's an addition to our present pile. You know, egg hunting to find the eggs and stuff like that. But if you know of other little traditions that get us items that we could sell for money or other little cheaty ways to kind of make money aside from like the present pile dumpster diving, obviously like painting and doing things like that. I know about things like that, but other little things like, you know, or anything else that traits or reward things that we can get aside from the money tree or investing. Are there other little things? I think there's another one. What's the one for like reduced bills and stuff like that? That one doesn't really matter too much. I'm not too concerned about that. Maybe I might be later, but things like that, anything like that to make this a little less challenging. Because again, we have huge, massive lots that we are trying to build on this. This is going to be a massive undertaking to build and do. So our Sims are going to need a lot of money. It's not like, oh, we got 30,000 and I can build a cute little house and they got a little bedroom and it's a little like tiny house and then we move on. It's not going to be a tiny house. They're going to be small and condensed, but they're going to be massive houses that can fit up to 5 Sims. So like, and then it's very ambitious. So that's a little, me being that ambitious doing this. I don't know. But that's the thing. I I want to get easier ways to make money and little things to kind of like cheat a little without ching 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 money cheats, motherload, anything like that. Because I want it to still be a challenge, because the challenge for me is going to be building, but I want it to be fun and I don't want it to be grindy where we're here again for like we're going to be here probably for 6 months. I mean, because if you think about it, the first 6 weeks is just going to be rotating around the first step through the houses. You know what I mean? We're probably not going to be getting that much done. And then that's a month and a half. So, like, if we do, like, because again, each week for the first couple, I want to do maybe 2 episodes for each house, just so I can, again, get them a little square of a house, something so that if it is winter, they don't die. At least there's no reason for them to be freezing to death living in a tent. You know what I'm saying? So it might be like 2 episodes for the first go around, and then afterward it might be 1 episode each type of a thing. And they might be longer, whatever, we'll see. But as we go, we might have to find other ways to like add money. We'll also get to that too. But anyway, so like there is also a present day in every single season, and this we're going to pretend is like birthdays. I have the aging set to, I think it was already off in our game save, in this save file, which is perfect. I left it that way. I was originally thinking either long or off, because I really don't want our Sims to age up or anything. But for the purposes of that, I was like, oh, well, we'll just put a present day in every single season to pretend it's like birthdays for anyone who was born in that season. And we're not really going to worry about so-and-so's birthdays. Whatever house we're on gets to open presents. And then you do some of these other fun things. So I added those, like summer present day, water fun, ice cream fireworks. It's like 4th of July. The spring one, we're going to go swimming and give flowers and cook pancakes, because that's a fun tradition. We have the winter present day. We're going to do snow fun, maybe go to a sauna, dance a little. I don't know if there's other little things aside from open presents that you think we should be doing in some of these holidays. Let me know. Fall present day, cook grand meal. It's kind of like that's fall present day is basically our Thanksgiving, because I was like, meh. And then Old Hallows Eve was already here. I just added presents to it aside from, I think trick-or-treating was there. And I'm like, I just added, because I don't think we really need trick-or-treaters coming to our house. So I was like, open presents instead. Countdown to midnight or New Year's Eve does not have presents, but obviously Winterfest does. So again, we've got a present day. We've got a actual holiday where we open gifts. And then we've got the lottery for each season. And then whatever else the game pops up. And then there was something else I was absolutely thinking on that I was going to mention. Oh, because I keep talking about this and saying like, oh, the 5 Sims that live in this house. So we are starting out with Crowley and Grim. I made Grim. He's just a cat. Which is why Crowley's lot has some cat things, and we're going to have to build him a house. So I also gave him that. I didn't make him pay for that. So, well, I mean, technically I did, and then I cheated the money away. But we got a litter box, we got food, we got a toy, we got a little house that the cat can sleep in, and we've got Crowley's tent. I got a cooler for him. There's nothing in this box. It's cute. And we've got some seed packets, because Crowley is going to start building our greenhouse first, because what I want to do too is the greenhouse with all of our plants that we plant is going to be on the common area so that anybody can utilize it. So it's not like Crowley's got a garden and nobody else can. If we're in another house and we need money, we can go and garden and sell everything. Well, the same thing with our money trees. If anybody in this, like say household gets a money tree, we're going to put it in the common area so that we, can do it that way. And maybe we'll, like if the money trees are like, well, that's getting too much money, we'll kind of like, whatever. Maybe we'll cap it as you can only get money from the money tree once or each episode or something like that. With the presents, I think I wanted to do, let me know what your thought process is on that. I was thinking of either limiting it to 10 or 20 presents per household. Because again, you could literally open 20 presents and get 19 sadnesses and lies and a carrot, or you could get 20 really great fucking expensive TVs. You never know what you're going to get out of it. So I didn't know if we should limit it to 10. Like for each household, the double dorms would then be 20 because they're technically 2 households. And we're building 2 buildings, so they're getting twice as much to do. Or do we do 20 and then the double dorms get 40? So thought process on that. We can start out with 10 and just see if that's like, or we could start out with 20 and then go, that's too much. It's making it too easy, but we're going to need a lot of money. Let's just remember that. I'm going to need a lot to build these massive structures and all the detail that I am trying to hope in my brain I can put into them. They're not going to turn out the way I want to. But anyway, so we're going to start out with Crowley. He's going to garden. The garden's going to be in the common area. I also gave him some plasma packs because he is a vampire, because he's one of our fey creatures. They have never really confirmed that or said anything about Crowley. He's a mystery, but he does have pointy ears. And I'm sorry, I kind of agree with the fandom. And it's like, he kind of has some fey characteristics. Plus, he's wearing a mask. He does have some outfits where he does not have a mask on. And don't mind his foot is missing. My height slider mod is being a little janky in the save. Yesterday, everybody who was shorter was missing their hand, and now everybody who's tall is missing their foot. But he has some plasma packs just to start him off, and he has a packet so we can plant some plasma trees, because again, we got some vampires over here too. Also, I set up, if there's other things you think of that are better, let me know. But in each one, so I like the fact that in residential rentals, you can set up the different lot traits. So we have the vampire lair because I want him to get plasma packs in the mail. We have island spirits because I feel like that fit the vibe of Night Raven College. And I did green soil because he's going to have the garden, so that made sense. Hearts level has penny. Every other house has penny pixies. That's another cheat way to make money. You get like 5 simoleons every once in a while. But homey because it helps with cooking, mixology, handiness, and gardening. Not that we're doing gardening, but like the cooking and handiness might come into play. I don't know if we're going to do handiness. I know cooking we are, but. And then party place because, think about Mad Hatter tea parties, Diasomnia and Ignahide. I had to kind of split things between them. So we, again, have Vampire Lair because there's vampires, Penny Pixies, and then we have Fast Internet for programming and stuff like that. I don't necessarily know. Edia, who is our Ignahide boy, is going to be doing robotics and stuff like that. Think you can see where that's going, maybe. Pumfiore has Penny Pixies again. Science Lair, because Rook is in the science club, so he'll be doing science shit, because I feel like that fit. Again, if you don't know these characters, you'll get introduced to them. Don't worry about it. And then Natural Light, because I think Vil would paint. So, again, Penny Pixies for Savannah Claus Scarabia. Bracing Breezes, because environment for exercise, because our Savannah Club boys are active. And a home studio, that's for basically painting, writing, woodworking, anything like that. Because I think Jamil was going to be doing woodworking kind of stuff. I could see him doing that. Octavanella has Fast Internet, because I think we were going to have Jade program so that he can like hack corporations and shit, because I feel like he's shady enough to do that shit and get money that way. And then we also have cooking, mixology, handiness, and gardening. Not 100% sure. Well, I mean, they have Mostra Lounge, but that's not really on their lot. So if there's other ones that you think would fit them better, aside from Penny Pixies, I'm not taking that one off. We're keeping that one because then that just gives us freebie money. I do wish sometimes we could put more. I do not have any lot challenges on or anything like that. We're not doing off the grid or any kind of shit like that because, like, no. But yeah, so they've got some stuff to start with. I didn't take out like the seasonal kind of thing, like packets and stuff. I just went in and those were in like build by without having to use. The weird thing is those weren't in debug. You could just easily buy those, but I think some of the other special ones, they weren't showing up there. I was like, are those like a special area? I don't know. But anyway, so I just did those basics. So it's the basic starter kit or whatever, and we can have him go around and do whatever stuff. Right, I keep glossing over this. So we are going to start with Crowley, and what we're going to do, he's going to go around, and eventually, however it works out the best, okay? I don't really have a set structure for this. What I was originally thinking is, like, as we're out in the world, we're going to meet our other Sims that belong here, okay? So Crowley's going to meet some of the other students, and he's going to meet the other teachers, because, like, right now, he knows jack shit. He knows nobody. Where's your relationship? You know nobody but Grim. Okay? You know nobody. Everybody else knows some people because there's like 4 or 5, whatever of them in a house. But But what I was thinking is like however organically it works is like Crowley's out there meeting people, you meet one of the other teachers, and if they ask, hey, I think we should move in together, absolutely you're coming in. Or we become good enough friends where we can ask them to move in. Absolutely we're moving them in. We might also stop trying to bite me, bird. We might also he's getting annoying because like I'm talking with my hands and he's like trying to bite my hands. Don't be an asshole. Um we might also, if it's taking too long to get to that point, right? I might just be like, okay, I need you to go meet the sim and then just cheat them into the household. But I want them to basically get the other. So for Crowley, all the other teachers are going to be in the house. All the Octavanel sims are going to be in the house. Obviously, all the Scarabia and Savannah Claw people are going to all be in that house. We're going to move every single fucking sim in this game aside from like the side characters that technically go to the other college. Anybody from Night Raven College, that's it. No, nobody else. All of them are going to be moving in here. So as we go and as we broaden these houses, some houses will be more at an advantage because if you think about it, Hearts Level's going to have the best advantage. There's going to be 5 Sims living in this house at some point. Okay? So there's 5 Sims that are going to be doing tasks and making money. Then over here, you're going to have 5 Sims making tasks, making money. Octavanel and Pomfury are the ones that are going to get screwed because there's not going to be as many Sims. But also, these ones, like, you're going to have 5 Sims, but you have 2 dorms to build. Hearts Level has 5 Sims and only 1 dorm to build. So obviously, if they get extra money, they can donate it to the common area and help build that up. And if we're getting to the point where, like, the common area is looking really great and the teachers have a fuck ton of money, we can have them donate money to the campuses. But of course, my original thought when I was making this is like, well, Crowley will own the lot because he's a great, wonderful, generous, like, headmaster that he's going to allow you to come in and build your own dorm. Because Crowley is the tuxedo mask of the game. He's fucking useless. He's like, I'm just so great and wonderful and awesome, right? He lets you pick up his shit. So, fucking love him, though. I do. And obviously, again, so these are my interpretations of the characters. They're not all perfect. Some of them are better than others. Some of them I am more proud of than others, you know, and like some of them I'm like, there's something off about them, but I just don't. Some I spent a lot of time on. Other ones, like, I'm not going to lie, Vargas, I think I slapped him together in 10 minutes because he's my least favorite and I kind of want to light him on fire. And the person who voted, ew, teachers, no, like, no, don't bother with the teachers on our poll, I was going to be like, I'm not even going to create Vargas and I'm going to pretend I deleted him just for you because that's what you get. You voted no teachers, so a teacher dies. 2 people vote no teachers die. But I did make him because I was like, ugh. So, but yeah, so that's basically it. I think that's everything. We're going to move in everyone, like I said. So we're going to end up with everybody here. We'll see how organically that works out. If it's getting to the point where it's like, oh my God, we're not meeting the other Sims. We're also not going to move in Sims if like Crowley's friends with one of the students or one of the other characters and they're like, we should move in together. No, you don't live in it. Only the people that are supposed to be living in this household. So for him, it's all the teachers. This is all the Hearts Level students. This is the Diasomnia and Ignihide students, etc. You know what I'm saying? So that type of a thing. And I think, let me know if you know this, because I'm not 100% sure. I don't use the money vaults very often, but like if I put one and Crowley owns it, right? If I put one on the community lot, if a sim from another household, so like say we're over here in this, if they add to it, Crowley can just use that money, right? I know they'd have to steal from it if they wanted to take it because it's Crowley's property. So if you have another sim who wants to come in and take money, you have to steal from the vault to get money out, right? But can you just donate money to the common area that way? You know? Like my sim could just go, I put $1,000 in the vault and the next time we're playing with the teachers or whatever, we can just go, okay, I'm gonna take up that $1,000 now I have access to. You know what I mean? Can you just do that? I would assume that's how it works because if Crowley puts $1,000 into the Pomfiore vault, he can't, like if he was gonna go, he'd have to steal it back. It doesn't count it as his, so I assume whoever owns the vault, it's theirs no matter who puts money into it. So we might do that too. And if for some reason, like the teachers or every has a ton of money or this house has a ton of money, we're going to share amongst ourselves. So you've got a fuck ton, your house is almost built. They're over here and they have no money. Our Sims can gift. I can gift you simoleons or whatever like that. Or I'll write it down and be like, okay, I'm going to take 5,000 from them and I'm going to give it to this household next time we go into it, type of a thing. So we'll, gift. Or, I mean, like, honestly, for that, we might not build the door, but we might be like, oh, I'm going to add some trees or some items or something over here that they can use, type of a thing. So we're gonna share like that. You know what I mean? If we have to. But again, if we have money trees, we'll be fucking fine. Because I do want this, again, like I said, I don't want it to be super challenging. I want it to be like fun where we're building up and it's not like, okay, we're here and I built the house, we're done. But I also don't want it to be 2 years later and it's like, we're finally done. This is why it's supposed to be a mini challenge. I know it's probably going to last 6 months or more. Like, somebody's laughing at me right now, like, only 6 months, But it's going to be 6 weeks to get through the first rotation. So it's going to take a lot. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't want it to be like we're here 3 years later and we're like still trying to build up the houses. Like, I don't know. I had a lot of fun putting this together and doing this and like my massive ideas for the buildings. And I was like, we got to do some like cheaty ways to make money to like figure it out. Also, can I just tell you, I kind of can't wait for the life and death pack. Not for all the things. I can't wait for the pre-order stuff because I don't pre-order it. I'll buy it when it comes out. You still get it as long as you order before December. But like that new mask with the feathers, it's going to be fucking. I saw that and I was like, that's perfect for Crowley. I can't wait to put that on him. Because like he has like. Now Crowley is never seen without his mask, but he does have some outfits, like obvious sleepwear. And like, and one of his other. Everybody has 2 everyday outfits. But his other everyday outfit does have his mask off because I just really wanted to see his beautiful face. I spent a lot of time making him beautiful. And I based it on artwork that somebody else had made of like what they thought he looked like without his mask. And I kind of used that as reference. If I can find the name of the person or wherever it came from, I will let you know. I forget who it is. It was like some of these Sims I started making in 2022. It's been a 2-year-long process making these. I thought it was like, oh, I've been making them over the last year. And I looked and I was like, I made like Crowley, Azul, and Malleus like in 2022. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? Like, okay, 2 years ago. What the shit? What happened to time? Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to let you know. Again, thoughts, comments, ideas of like other kind of cheaty ways to make money. You know what I mean? Without using money cheats, but like other little things like dumpster diving or whatever. Like, ooh, this is a really great way to do this or whatnot. This object is really good for that type of a thing. If you have thoughts on hobbies or skills, like money-making ones like painting and stuff like that, that other Sims can have. Like I said, I did kind of plan out and give everyone kind of different ones so we're not doing the same thing over and over. So every house isn't painting, but the teachers are going to duplicate some other stuff. And sometimes we might do it anyway. Like, okay, well, we'll have this Sim paint for a little while. Like Ville's going to be doing painting. But if you have certain characters like, oh, this would be really good for them, throw those down because I might reconsider ones that I have and kind of rearrange things and like change them up. I kind of just wanted to get as many of the skill ways to make money as possible. But if there are certain ones like, yeah, like knitting and crocheting or like knitting and embroidery, like, okay, yeah, those are good. But I think I was going to have Apple do that. But, oh, yeah, but you're not going to make as much money as if you do this. This would be better. It might, and like, whatever. And some of the tasks and things that they're going to do might not suit them perfectly, but we're just working with what we have in The Sims and stuff like that. So, again, colors and fashion and hairstyles and everything is not perfect for everybody. So just go into that knowingly. This is not going to be a perfect representation of the characters or whatever. It's my representation. And again, some of them I'm very proud of. Some of them I'm not. Last thing we go. So we're starting out with Crowley. We're going to start out with Azul for Octave and L. For Savannah Claw and Scarabia, we're going to start with Leona and Jamil. I know Jamil's not the house warden, but I'd rather, I don't know, I just want to use him more. My poor little Kaleem, okay, don't judge him. I do not have some, I can know somebody's got the content out there for his little headscarf thing, but the ones we have in game just don't work, so he just has to wear a flower crown. So he looks a little ridiculous, but a flower crown kind of works, so don't judge him. Don't judge him for wearing a flower crown and not his little headscarf thing, okay? So, like, just please don't. Like, the poor boy has enough struggles, okay? Like, it's shit like that where I'm like, oh, to be fair, he does seem like the kind who would absolutely wear a flower crown and be thrilled about it. But at the same time, it's like, it's a little ridiculous. But we're going to start out with Vil and Pomfiore. We're going to start out over here with Idia and Malleus. And then I know everyone's like, Riddle! No. Technically, these are all the characters that have overblotted in the game. Overblot is like when your spellcaster, like, you know, gets overcharged. So it's a thing that happens in the game. It's part of the plot of each chapter. One of the characters overbloods and you have to fix it. That's part of why Crowley, we don't know why we're here in Night Raven College. You kind of get isekai'd out of your world into the school. So you're playing a character, you know, and you're like, I'm here. Okay. I don't have magic, but all right, whatever. And you know, you're basically trying to stop all the students from overblotting because, again, Crowley, tuxedo mask. I have done everything. You did nothing, sir. But we still love you. I don't know why. I do, because he's a crazy Birdman. But anyway. But yeah, I know what you're thinking, Riddle. No, we're starting with Trey, because honestly, Trey is one of my favorite ones that I've made. Because I used Obscurus's sliders and presets, and I don't know if I have the sliders in anymore. But I think they made presets, and one of them was like, so you could, what's the sliders? Maybe I don't have them anymore, but you could actually like raise and lower the eyebrows so they weren't perfectly symmetrical. So just having a little smirk on the lips and the little cocked eyebrow for Trey, being able to use those sliders fucking sells him. Like 100%. It's like, fuck that. It's like, I am just, listen, I don't care if you don't like him, just don't say anything because I'm so fucking proud of him. He's still one of my favorites, and I think I made him like 2 years ago. I'm like, I'm still fucking excited. So I'm like, I really want to use him, and he's going to bake for us. But anyway, that's not important. We're going to end up adding everybody anyway. So I think that's all I wanted to kind of tell you about this. So, you know, everyone's an occult, whatever. If I think of other things that I forgot to mention, I will tell you when we get into the next part, but the next part, like, see, it's already been an hour. The next part will be going in and actually playing with Crowley and starting to do things. And hopefully he has a foot. I don't know. Like, I don't want to, like, make everybody normal height, but I guess, like, I don't know what is wrong with my height slider mod. Like, it was perfectly fine until like yesterday and today. I don't know. Anyway, so I will see you guys next time. I hope you're excited for this. I really am. I hope it goes well. I hope we have fun. And again, leave comments, thoughts, or whatever for like skills that you think they could do or like ways to like manipulate getting money. Like other holidays or little things we could do or whatever. But anyway, so I will see you next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.